When what's in your mind agrees with what's in reality, it's true. If what's in your mind doesn't agree with what's in reality, it's false. For example, if I say the grass is green, and assuming it's spring and we've got pretty green grass, if I think or say the grass is green and that statement agrees with reality, that is, the grass really out there is green, then that statement is true. If I say the grass is purple and the grass, obviously it's not, that statement is false, you see? So truth is an agreement between between thought, and that thought can be expressed, okay, in a statement, but an agreement between thought and reality. There's our word we want to focus on. Truth is an agreement between thought and reality. When the thought agrees with reality, it's true. When the thought disagrees with reality, it is false. The whole point is that truth is based on reality. We say in Latin, veritas sequitur esse rerum. Truth follows the existence of things. So truth is based on reality. If I say the horse is dead and the darn thing really is dead, then that statement is true. If I say the horse is dead and he's up running around, that statement's false, okay? Truth is based on the existence of things. Veritas sequitur esse rerum. Learn it and impress your friends, because this Latin phrase has a whole lot of wisdom here. It's a great prescription and antidote to a lot of the confusion you see nowadays in the popular media and just this gobbledygook sort of thinking, this postmodern thinking that we just aren't sure what truth is. I don't know. Maybe nothing is true. No, truth follows the existence of things. It's very, very important. So the point here is that when what's in your mind agrees with reality, it's just some green grass, okay? I don't have a green marker. There's the green grass. It's green, okay? When there is an agreement between the thought and reality, the truth follows the existence of things. If this guy says or thinks that the darn grass is green, okay, and the grass is green, the grass is what we call the truth maker. The truth follows the existence of things. What makes this thought, what makes this statement true is the grass, the green grass in this case. The green grass is the truth maker of this statement. So what makes statements true, what makes thoughts true is the reality itself that you're talking about. Okay? Truth follows the existence of things. All right. Now, let's talk about some more confusion. This should be obvious to you. Okay, but and we use it all the time. You couldn't live, for goodness sakes, you couldn't live one day without knowing what truth is. You know, you wouldn't know, when is it true to cross the street? Are there any cars coming? You know, your thoughts, all your thoughts, everything you decide to do is based on truth. You know, are you eating a bowl of cereal or are you eating arsenic? You know, truth follows the existence of things, and you wouldn't be able to live probably 10 minutes without knowing truth. Okay. So, and this notion of truth too, I should say. Okay, so, but people are still confused because sometimes people disagree. We disagree. We don't know what's true. He says this, and I say, and other group says that. Oh, I don't know. Maybe disagreement means there is no truth, because this guy says one thing, and this guy says something else. Maybe this disagreement, maybe there is no truth to the matter. You know, no. Because here's the question. How can there be, this is where people get confused. How can there be truth when there's disagreement? He says one thing, he says something else. Where's the truth here? You see? Well, where is the truth? The truth is based in reality. These people may happen to disagree, but there is still a truth to the matter. Let me give you an example. There was one time, if you go back in time, you could take a poll, and if you asked everybody, go back to a certain period in the Middle Ages at some point, and say, what is the shape of the earth? Take a poll. Most people, not all probably, but most people will say, oh, I know. What's the shape of the earth? It's like that. Earth is flat. You know, if you sail too far, you'll fall off and the dragons will eat you and stuff. The Earth is flat. It's floating out there. It's a floating flat disk of some sort, okay? And then there would be some other people, but not very many, but the minority view, right? Most people think that the Earth is flat. Studies have shown most people think the Earth is flat, yes, but there's still the minority view, even back then, by the way. Say, no. The Earth is round. All right, so assuming we're in the Middle Ages at some point, and most people think the Earth is flat, a minority think the Earth is round. We have a disagreement here. Uh-oh. Most people think the Earth is flat. Some people think it's round. Who's to say? Maybe it's both. Maybe they're both true. No, absolutely not. Think just because these people, there is a disagreement here, but where is the truth maker in this scenario? What makes those thoughts true? What makes them false? Right? No, veritas sequitur esse rerum. Truth follows the existence of things. So the point of just because some people thought the Earth was flat, that doesn't make it flat. The Earth really was what it was. The Earth doesn't care what you think about it. People who thought it was flat were flat wrong. Right? The majority view was wrong. The Earth was in fact round. It's always been round. Can't be both. Right? They both can't be right. All right? The minority view is right. And what made them right was not their thinking about it. Just like, thinking doesn't change reality. The Earth is round. No, it's not their thinking that made that Earth round. It's that the Earth was round. The real thing was round, and that's what made those statements true. Truth is based on reality. When there's an agreement between thought and reality, that is true. And the people, in that case, the minority view, were right. The point here is that disagreement doesn't mean there isn't a truth to the matter. Reality doesn't change just because people happen to disagree, right? The Earth doesn't change just because some people don't agree about its shape. That's crazy, okay? So just because people don't agree doesn't mean reality changes. It doesn't mean there is no truth to the matter. Let me give you another example. People think this changes when you start talking about God, but that's just crazy because it's the same principle here. Atheistic view. God does not exist. Okay, that's atheism. There is no God. All right. That's their primary principle, right? Atheism. God does not exist. Theism would be the opposite view. God does exist. That's theism. All right, so there is not a creator of the universe. There is a creator of the universe. God does not exist. God does exist. Well, people disagree. Some people think God doesn't exist. Some people think God does. Do we want to say they're both right? I mean, is that possible? Can God both exist and not exist? No, they both can't be right. Somebody's got to be wrong. And maybe you don't know who's right. That's fine. Okay. But still, you have to admit at least that there is a truth to the matter, even if you don't know what that truth is. Okay? Just because you can't confuse not knowing what the truth is, you can't confuse that with there not being a truth. Those are two different things. Okay? So clearly, in this scenario, God does not exist or God does exist. Somebody's got to be right and somebody's got to be wrong. There is a truth to the matter. Even if it's the case that someone doesn't think they know the answer, there is a truth to the matter, because in reality it's got to be one way or the other. Either there's a God out there or there is not. Okay, so disagreement doesn't prove that there is no truth to the matter. All that speaks to is our knowledge of something. It doesn't speak to the reality. I mean, you could say the same thing about aliens. I mean, do aliens exist? Well, I don't know. I mean, but just because I don't know, just because there is some disagreement between people, some people think aliens do exist, some people think they don't. That disagreement doesn't mean they're both right or that there is no truth to the matter. Either the darn aliens are out there or they're not. Okay? So this leads us, though, this notion of truth and reality is what it is, regardless of what you think about it. This leads us to another important principle in logic called the principle of non-contradiction. The principle of non-contradiction. Extremely important, very closely related to what we've been talking about here. The principle of non-contradiction states a thing cannot both be and not be at the same time and in the same way. Let me say it again. A thing cannot both be and not be at the same time and in the same way. It's a fundamental principle of metaphysics. It is a fundamental principle of logic. It is a fundamental principle of all rational thought. You can't have one coherent thought without assuming the truth of this principle. So what does it mean? A thing can't both be and not be at the same time and in the same way. Well, the lights can't be completely on and completely off at the same time and in the same way. Or the door can't be all the way open and all the way shut at the same time and in the same way. It doesn't matter how fast you do it. It's one or the other, okay? God cannot both exist and not exist at the same time and in the same way. The earth can't be both flat and not flat at the same time and in the same way. Reality doesn't work that way. Reality is what it is. A thing can't both be a square and not a square at the same time. A thing can't both be completely black and not completely black at the same time and in the same way. So what we have here is that what we're saying here with this principle of non-contradiction is that contradictory views are mutually exclusive. They both can't be true and they both can't be false either. It's one or the other. They're mutually exclusive. They're also exhaustive, but they're mutually exclusive in the sense that one excludes the other. Either God exists or God is not. Either the earth is flat or it's not flat. Either either the aliens exist or they don't exist. These views are mutually exclusive. It's one or the other. And even if you don't know which one it is, you know it's at least one or the other. Do you see what I mean? Even if you don't know if aliens exist or not, I know it's one or the other. Either they do or they don't. I know that. I know somebody's right and somebody's wrong. Okay? It's not uncharitable to say that. This is a matter of truth here. Matters of truth should be disputed. But it's okay to talk about and reason for and argue about truth. I mean, if not that, what? Why study anything, right? Okay. So that's the principle of non-contradiction. A thing cannot both be and not be at the same time in the same way. And this is true. This is a principle of reality. It's not some kind of thing. Logicians and philosophers didn't just make up the principle of non-contradiction and kind of foist all that onto reality. No, it's derived from reality. It's derived from our experience of being. It's the most fundamental principle of all existence, that a thing cannot both be and not be at the same time and in the same way. Okay. It leads us to another principle we need to talk about. You need to know, called the principle of excluded middle. The principle of excluded middle. What this principle states that given any pair of contradictories, one of them must be true and the other one false. Given any pair of contradictories, one of them must be true and the other one is false. So we've got two contradictory views here. The earth is flat or not flat. Somebody's true and somebody's wrong. Somebody's true and somebody's false here. Right? Somebody's view is true, somebody's view is false. Or, given atheism or theism, somebody's got to be right and somebody's got to be wrong. All right? And that's just the way it is. Even if we don't know who is right, we know that one of them is right. So again, let's not confuse an inability to know the truth. Let's not confuse an inability to know the truth with there not being a truth to the matter. Okay? Let's not confuse an inability to know the truth with there not being a truth to the matter. Okay? Truth is true whether someone likes it or not, whether you agree with it or not, whether it fits your preconceived worldview or not. Reality is what it is. Deal with it. Okay.